The comparative lessons and cautionary tales in Star Wars The Clone Wars make this show absolutely unique. For example, the outcomes of both Anakin Skywalker and Master Yoda coming face to face with the dark side and their own varied response. First, looking at Anakin Skywalker's path in the Mortis arc. Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka travel to deep space, find their way onto a mystical, mysterious planet called Mortis, where they meet the embodiment of both the light, the dark, and balance, all in the form of a family, believe it or not. In Legends, there is a mother, but like all families, there's just that one person best left unspoken of. I don't want to go real deep into this arc, but the son eventually isolates Anakin and attempts to recruit him in his pursuit to get off-world and into the galaxy at large. Now here's where this gets real interesting. The son gives Anakin a vision, revealing everything in store in his future. He shows him the end of the Clone Wars, Palpatine's deception, the eradication of the Jedi, his wife's death, the dominance of the Death Star, and his ultimate fate as the fallen Jedi, the heir to the Sith, Darth Vader. Only then did Anakin accept the son's offer to join him. He turned to the dark side out of fear that he wasn't strong enough on his own to keep this from happening. His decision wasn't to be evil. Anakin had no desire to be evil. But with the power that his enemy possessed, the only way forward in his mind, the only way to counteract it, was with the brutality of the dark side, matching power for power. In contrast, Season 6 of the Clone Wars sees Master Yoda's own collision with the dark side. Yoda's crucible begins with the deceased Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn reaching out to Yoda, telling him about the path to immortality. His journey, like Anakin's, takes him to another mystical world where these mysterious beings called the Wills put Yoda through training where he must come to know his true self, a challenge to conquer what remains to be unconquered. There he is confronted by an evil variation of himself. Yoda struggles to fight this thing off, and just like Anakin, Yoda is given the option to succumb to his darkness in order to have strength over it. In the beginning of this fight, Yoda refuses to recognize what he's fighting, believing that by not acknowledging it, he's somehow starving it of its power over him. Yet he is still washing Yoda, still displaying power over him. But then something incredibly humbling happens. Yoda confesses that he recognizes the darkness that's inside of him, recognizes that the thing he is fighting is actually a part of him. And through that recognition and learning to be honest with his own humanity, for lack of a better word, Yoda is able to be in the right headspace to control his dark side and to keep it at bay. Through patience and training, he is able to maintain discipline over his darkness. So, the difference between the two characters? Anakin believed that the darkness was too strong. The only way to destroy it was to match its power and compromise his values. Yoda refused to believe that the darkness was stronger. By accepting that it will always be a part of him, and by remaining humble and self-disciplined, the darkness within him can be controlled. How do you deal with the darkness within you? Are you afraid of it? Do you let it define you? Or do you accept your flaws and weaknesses? Do you practice humility and self-discipline? Are you willing to be patient with yourself and give grace to yourself? Remember, dark thoughts can and will enter your mind, but it's always your choice in how far you let them through. Will you feed the darkness or will you starve it? I appreciate you watching this video and tuning into my channel. I'd love it if you dropped a like and also subscribed if you haven't yet. So until next time, take care, God bless, and may the Force be with you, always.